Hello and welcome to the Collapse Experiment. Today was not the day I had been anticipating for the last week or so. So, our trip out of town was canceled due to bad weather. No joke. It was supposed to be like rain mixed with snow today. And instead it is in the 50s. I don't know who the weatherman is that predicted this horrible weather that I'm walking through right now, but not doing a very good job, dude. So yeah, how did my day turn out? Well, took the kids to the Minecraft movie. Review. Not good. I'll leave it at that. Oh, but it's a kids movie. There's a whole lot wrong with that movie. Not a whole lot that's right. So yeah, went to go see that movie. But before the movie started, we were the first ones through the door to get tickets because I didn't know how crowded it was going to be, seeing that it's opening weekend. And well, Minecraft cultists are in large numbers these days. So I took precautionary measures and got the tickets and then had to bum around for about half an hour. In which case we found ourselves in the middle of a protest. Now, I have an idea as to what they were protesting. However, if somebody was to see this protest without knowing anything about why they were protesting, it would not be obvious. Every single sign said something different. There wasn't mass chanting. There was ruckus. People were all yelling different things. Kind of reminded me of Occupy Wall Street in a way. Remember how everybody was getting together and they're setting up their camps and they're out in the parks and they're protesting. But then when the reporters went around asking, so what exactly are you protesting? Every single person had a different answer. So I was seeing stuff about how the law is king, not Trump. No, the law is not king, okay? For the people who... one of the stupidest signs I saw, the law is king, not Trump. Okay, so when slavery was legal, that law ruled the land. We shouldn't change that law, right? And yes, I went with the very obvious one from the very beginning, because anybody who put that sign together, who ended up being like an older middle-aged man, by the way, didn't put very much thought into it. And this is America. We don't have fucking kings here. So, the other things about this protest, well, we were in a shop downtown. I won't say which one. But me and my kids were in a shop as the crowd starts going by, and they're pretty noisy, and they've got their signs. They're waving them around, and cars are honking. But the cars are not honking for them. The cars are honking because they won't get the fuck out of the way. Blocking traffic, blocking intersections. So, of course, they're crossing the street as they're protesting, taking all the time that the pedestrians are allowed. But then they're still in the middle of the street as the light changes, and the cars that were trying to turn in their direction are now in the middle of the intersection, unable to move because these dumb fucks won't get out of the way. And of course, there's one woman that's like, come on, we gotta, can't be obstructing traffic. Bitch, that's all you're doing. I was told that the whole protest was about Doge. And I responded with, well, if these people don't care about stupid idiots mishandling their money, they can hand over their money to these stupid idiots, but keep my fucking money out of it. And that person started to laugh and started nodding their head, which told me it was basically what they were also thinking. It's funny. It's so funny that all these people are protesting Doge. And it's like, you do realize the guy is finding where all of your tax dollars are being misused. Now, if they had done this, if Doge existed 20 years ago, when the Bush administration was handing over no bid contracts to Halliburton at extravagant amounts to do jobs that are temporary and mismanaged and not done properly. You know, like Halliburton's building a hospital over in Iraq because we bombed the other one, sorry, but we're replacing it. People are getting in the showers and being electrocuted because shit wasn't wired properly. This is all stuff that really happened, by the way. Sewage lines weren't hooked up to anything because there was no main sewage, water drainage. And a lot of these villages and towns that they're building, constructing this stuff in, but they're trying to do it with like US coding and how we would do it here. And it's like, they don't have the fucking infrastructure. So yeah, if Doge existed 20 years ago and they were looking back, these people would be happier than a pig in shit. Oh my God, they're cutting all the funding to Halliburton. They're not going to get any of these contracts anymore. It has to go to the lowest bid. Oh, they're cutting the funding for this, funding for that. It's fine when their guy is in charge. But that's the funny thing, right? Is that Trump is in office and he's cutting funding to reduce the tax burden and the national debt. And they're not fucking happy about it. Kind of weird, right? And Biden did the exact opposite. He had the money printing going brrr. Taxes are just out of control. You got all these government programs, you got all the rules and regulations. Get the jab or get fired. And they were all about it. This totalitarian regime that was in office that talked about having camps. And these people were just plain disc jockeying, stroking themselves to the idea of putting their political opponents in camps. They can put people in camps, but heaven forbid anybody else do it. The weird thing is, haven't heard anything about that from the other side. But no, these protesters, they're running around, screaming and yelling. From what I could tell, some of them just like pulled their old signs out of the closet. I get to use this again. I saw LGBTQ rights. Saw all kinds of shit. But no, the impression that I got And what I came away from seeing this protest for the short period of time that I saw it was, they're the reason Trump got elected. Congratulations. You are still out there proving as to why Trump got elected. Because people are sick of your shit. You block traffic, not helping. You act like assholes, not helping. You're vandalizing vehicles, not helping. You yell and scream. You throw your little temper tantrums. You know, when you go to a restaurant and there's that couple that has the kid that's at the table and the kid starts acting up and everyone turns their head and they're just like, are you seriously going to ruin our fucking meal? Like, are you going to do something about this shit or not? That is how the rest of society views you. You're the kid in the restaurant that's fucking it up for everyone else. The immature little brat that needs his ass beat. Have you tried beating his ass? Best episode of Boondocks. I don't know what to do. What am I supposed to do? And Granddad just walks up, try beating his ass, takes the belt off, hands it over. Problem solved. You can't do that anymore. Really? Have you seen the production of the quality of people in society these days? Did we have this issue before? How long was corporal punishment going on before Dr. Spock came out and said, this isn't how parenting should be? Now we've got a bunch of dumb fucks with no self-esteem running around, don't think that they're accountable for anything. I don't know. I think the reason that Neanderthals and cavemen and Homo erectus ended up becoming humans was because you got some little cave brat running around. I think some discipline was involved. I have a feeling there was occasional caveman ass that was beaten a time or two. Don't be doing that. That tiger's gonna fucking eat you. Beat his ass. So yeah, these people. And then we leave the store, right? We leave the store. It's time to go find our seats in the theater to watch the Minecraft movie, or in my case, try to suffer through the first half of it before I dozed off and fell asleep and then woke up during the credits. That was my experience. $7 well spent. So, we're leaving the store. The protesters are marching down the sidewalk. And it's like my kids are just getting knocked around by these fucking assholes who think that everybody should just move out of their way because they have something to say. No fucking sense of courtesy, of community. Little kids going to see the Minecraft movie, and everyone's so busy marching, doing this thing, that they don't see the little people who are just trying to go to a movie theater. This is why we voted for Trump. Nobody fucking likes you, and nobody has any interest in hearing what you have to say at this point. Bunch of selfish, immature, overeducated, unappreciative pricks. I don't want the government to spend my money in frivolous ways. Good for you, dumbass. No, I hope Elon guts a hell of a lot more shit, okay? I want to see the government small enough so it can be drowned in a fucking bathtub at this point. The more that these people whine and bitch and cry, I want Elon to do more. I want to see the fucking Pentagon go back to having muskets and sailing ships at this point, if it means that these people cry even louder. I have zero interest in going back to the old way of doing things where the government collects $7 trillion in tax revenue every year, and yet they seem to spend 10 by the end of it. Fucking over it. Either learn how to balance a goddamn checkbook or get the fuck out. Because I don't know of any household that operates that way. I can't think of any business that operates that way and stays in business. And why the fuck is the Federal Reserve allowed to print a fucking penny of our currency when it says strictly in the Constitution that is left to the job of Congress? And we know that with as competent as Congress is, nothing would ever get printed, which means no inflation. So yeah, I read a couple weeks ago how they were talking about bringing on, oh God, what's his name? Ron Paul. They're going to bring on Ron Paul to Deutsche and let him audit the Federal Reserve. I haven't heard about it since then, right? But oh my God, please make it so. And please, and we know how this will end. He's going to come back and he's going to have this little report. It's going to be a very short report, right? Maybe like one page that says somewhere in the middle of a paragraph, due to the incompetency of the Federal Reserve, I am suggesting that we dissolve this thing and go back to the original intent of the Constitution. It'd be such a beautiful thing. Maybe bring back the gold standard as well. So yeah, we ended up going to the movie, and by the time the movie is over, they're long gone. It's like they all had like either discovered that they needed to go pay some bills or they got jobs. I don't know. But apparently protesting is only like an hour-long endeavor from what I saw. But it was an hour where they just purposely made things, nobody wanted to hear their message. They purposely made things uncomfortable for the sake of everybody hating them. I don't know whatever happened to like the whole, peace and love, man. Like, you gotta make your enemy love you if you're gonna turn their ways, man. Like, puff, puff, pass for the peace, man. No, they went the other route. Like, we don't like you, we fucking hate you. Here's what we have to say. By the way, we're gonna spray paint your car and we're gonna block the streets and we're gonna knock your kids around on the sidewalk because we're a bunch of fucking assholes. Way to win over the public, you dumb sons of bitches. Keep on tight.